Love's Labours Lost. Love's Labours Lost, an early comedy by William Shakespeare, consists of 5 acts and was likely written between 1588 and 1597, possibly in the early 1590s as well. It was published in a quarto edition in 1598, though it suggests an earlier quarto may have been lost. The 1598 quarto appears to be based on an authorial working draft with revisions. The play's central comedic theme involves 4 young men who, dedicated to scholarly pursuits and avoiding romance, meet 4 women and eventually abandon their unrealistic ideals. The king and his friends, after swearing off women, find themselves hosting a princess and her attendants. As they interact, the 4 men fall in love and decide to pursue the women romantically. However, the women must return to their kingdom for a year, and only after that time can they marry the king and his friends, provided they remain faithful. Major characters of the play: Ferdinand, King of Navarre, who woos the Princess of France. Princess of France, a beautiful woman who captures the heart of the King of Navarre. Baron, Lord at Ferdinand's court. He is in love with Rosalind. Rosalind, lady attending the Princess of France. Longueville, Lord at Ferdinand's court. He is in love with Maria. Maria, lady attending the Princess of France. Dumaine, Lord at Ferdinand's court. He is in love with Catherine. Catherine, lady attending the Princess of France. Don Adriano di Armado, a garrulous knight who loves Jacinita passionately. Summary of the play. Act 1. In the French kingdom of Navarre, King Ferdinand and his 3 companions, Biron, Dumaine, and Longueville, see themselves as enthusiastic students of philosophy. Together, they resolve to forego the company of women for 3 years to devote time to their studies. Additionally, this decree against women applies to the entire kingdom. When the local peasant Costard is caught pursuing his betrothed Jacinita, he is arrested. The Spaniard Don Armado, in charge of punishing Costard, is also in love with Jacinita. He writes her a letter for Costard to deliver. Act 2 to 3. Soon after the oath, the Princess of France and her 3 ladies waiting, Rosalind, Catherine, and Maria, arrive at an embassy. Due to the new laws through the king's pledge, the women are lodged a mile from the court. With the aid of the princess's officer, they are granted an audience with Navarre and his friends. They soon discover that they have all met before. Furthermore, the king falls in love with the princess and each of his lords with her ladies. Biron writes a love letter to the lady Rosalind, giving it to Costard to deliver. However, Costard confuses the letters in his charge and provides Biron's letter to Jacinita, who resolves to tell the king. Meanwhile, the schoolmaster, Holofernes, the parson, and Don Armado plan to entertain the royals with a pageant entitled The 9 Worthies. It will feature Costard, Armado, and his page boy Moat. In Act 4, the king and his friends watch each other in hiding as they separately declare their love for the princess and her ladies. They soon find out about everyone's affections. After his letter is revealed, Biron persuades Navarre that love is a lawful part of their studies. The men decide to continue to entertain their guests. In Act 5, the men try to woo the women with gifts and visit them in disguise. But they still pretend to be indifferent to the ladies' charms. Finally, the women trick them, through the women's masks, into admitting the truth of their love. King Ferdinand for the princess, Biron for Rosalind, Dumaine for Catherine, and Longueville for Maria. The men and women come together happily to watch the 9 Worthies pageant. A messenger arrives to say that the King of France is dead during the performance. Because of this news, the princess decides that she must return home. She declares a year-long period of absence between the men of Navarre and the women of France. If their promises hold true at the end of that time, then the ladies may return to accept them in marriage. The play ends as the ladies leave and the pageant actors sing. Themes of the play. The play underscores the importance of time in proving genuine love. It explores desires versus the effort needed for realization, prioritizing romantic love over other forms. The Spanish Armada's failed invasion of England is satirized, highlighting the ineptitude of King Philip II. Masculine desire shapes the plot, with men driven by passion for fame and honor. The play early establishes the notion of women as a threat to masculinity and intellect. Unlike other works by Shakespeare, music features primarily in the final scene, with songs symbolizing spring and winter.